Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is the DFS Riddler coming at you live with another MLB video for the Friday, April the 12th slate. Here to solve all of your DFS riddles and questions that you might have for this slate. Before we get started, please take a moment to drop a like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell icon so you can get all the future content. Last night's picks were pretty damn good. Well, we will quickly go over those. Some of them were pretty freaking good from the video. Some of them were okay or average. So first off, the pitchers. John Gray, he had a 20.20. Could have done better. He had zero run support from his team, so couldn't pick up the win. He was striking out batter after batter. I think he gave up a home run. But other than that, he was pitching a pretty good game. So I like the way John Gray looked today. Definitely be looking at him in the future. Second pitcher, Gosman, a little bit underwhelming. He got a 10.55. Started the game off looking really well. And then he let go of a couple. He let go of like a three-run home run. Started to shit the bed after that. So Gosman could have been a lot better. Just wasn't pitching that well after a couple of innings in. Onto the bats, Dansby Swanson. He made value. He got a 10. Acuna absolutely fucking crushed it today. He got a 27, got a triple and a home run. Mookie Betts, he got an 8. I expected more out of him for his high price tag. So the 8 was a little bit underwhelming. And Hayward was at $4,000 for his price tag, so that 9 that he scored a 9, so that was pretty good. That's value. I like that for $4,000. Myers was the sleeper pick, and he ended up getting a 4. So San Diego did put up quite a few runs in their game tonight, but Myers just wasn't a big part of it like I thought he would be. So 4 was underwhelming for that. But yeah, nothing's for sure in baseball. But we do have a really juicy slate coming up for Friday. Before we get started with that, we'll just talk about Draft Dashboard for a second. Guys, this is the best lineup optimizer that you can get out there for MLB. It has so many tools that'll help you get your winning lineups in order. Everything from the MLB cheat sheet, which is one of my favorite tools. It has everything from the locks, the best plays of the slate, the top pitchers that are in the best spots to make value, your stud bats over $4,000, your mid-range bats from 3.5 to 4K, your value bats under 3.5K. And the best part about this is the home run hitters option. This tells you all of the hitters in the slate that have the best opportunity to hit a home run, that are in the best spots to hit a home run. And that is super important, guys, because when you're building a winning lineup, you got to have lots of guys that are going to hit multiple home runs. That's what's going to get you the high score and take down the slate for you. So the home run hitters is definitely a really awesome tool for Draft Dashboard. Next is the sleepers and studs. I really like the sleepers and studs because it tells you all the players on the slate that are priced under $4,000 that have the best upside to make value at that price. And when you're trying to fit in like a pitcher that you want and high dollar bats, you got to have those sleeper plays in there that are actually going to hit value at a low price. And to find out which guys are going to do that, this tool right here will give that to you guys. You can look at their draft dashboard ranking, and for a guy that's under $4,000 that has an 86 draft dashboard ranking, definitely would probably want to consider rostering him in your lineup. So this is a really good tool, guys. I really like the sleepers and studs option. You also have the lineup optimizer. This is the best lineup optimizer out there, guys. I generated multiple winning lineups off of this lineup optimizer before. You can take all the players from your player pool, throw them in the lineup optimizer. You have the mass lineup generator where you can create multiple lineups if you're one of those players that likes to create, anywhere from 20 to 150 lineups. Lineup generator, that is a very, very good tool there. But yeah, this lineup generator, lineup optimizer, like I was saying, it's won me a ton of money, guys. It spits out a ton of winning lineups all the time. So Draft Dashboard is a really, really awesome lineup optimizer and tool in general. And I've been winning a ton of money off of it since I've gotten it. And you can too if you give it a shot, guys. Draft Dashboard is only $1 for 30 days if you want to give it a try, guys. Only $1, and everybody that's playing fantasy, you already are playing fantasy, you have $1 to spend, so why not give Draft Dashboard a shot? After 30 days, if you don't like it, you can always cancel, but I guarantee that you won't cancel Draft Dashboard after 30 days because you'll be winning more money at fantasy. Like I said, it's won me a ton of money, guys, and it can win you a lot of money too, so give it a shot. If you do want to try Draft Dashboard, you can click the link that's in the description of my video. It'll take you to where you need to go, and just give it a shot, guys. It's definitely worth it. Draft Dashboard, the best lineup optimizer out there. So moving on to today's picks, I really, really like this slate, guys. There's so much value in it. Batters that have the opportunity, the upside to crush value at from what I see, are too low of price tags. So we're going to take advantage of that, and we're going to jump right on them. We'll talk about the pitchers first. You've got some high price pitching options on the slate. You have Patrick Corbin, who's in a bit of a tough matchup. And he's also priced up a little bit, and he didn't really do well on his first couple outings coming out. I think there's a possibility that he could get lit up. He could pitch a really good game, but I'm not going to go with Patrick Corbin. I really like Jake Arrieta for the Philadelphia Phillies. Jake Arrieta is priced at $8,800, and they are playing the Miami Marlins, which are by far one of the worst teams in baseball, guys. Their lineup is pathetic. They do not hit the ball well, and playing up against the Philadelphia Phillies, who absolutely have like an all-star lineup. I definitely see that Jake Arrieta being able to pick up the win. His first two outings out, he has 7 and a 22. It says here. Let's see if I can look something up on Jake Arrieta real quick. Yeah, he got a 7 and a 22. But he has a really good matchup today. Miami Marlins, like I said, are absolutely shitty. They are, in his past pitching to them, they are only hitting him 3 for 27. Jake Arrieta pitches his best ball to righty batters. He only gives up a 608 OPS. There's a weighted OPS of 662. And I just really like his upside here. He's going to get a ton of strikeouts. The Miami Marlins all year long so far this year, they've been making average-ass pitchers look like superstars. So that's what I expect tomorrow. And with what the batters that we have in the slate, guys, I don't really want to pay up a high dollar price for a pitcher. Jake Arrieta seems like a really good spot for an SP1. I'm going to pick on the Miami Marlins all year long. Like, anytime that a pitcher is facing Miami is a good consideration to probably get him in some of your lineups. So I like Jake Arrieta here against the Marlins. For my SP2, I went with Trent Thornton. And Trent Thornton has, it's his rookie year, and he's come out firing. He got a 20 and a 26 his first two games. Obviously no history versus Tampa Bay. he has been on like a pitch count a little bit on his first two games. Well, at least his first game he had 75 pitches. His second game, I think he had 91. Only pitched 5 innings in each. But like in his first game, he only needed 75 pitches. He got 8 strikeouts. That's huge, guys. He put up a 26, put up a 20 in his second game. And today is a really, really good matchup again against Tampa Bay Rays, who has, pretty much like an average lineup. Really not very, very good. Right now, Draft Dashboard's updating, so it's not showing the OPS, the correct updates for that for Trent Thornton. But he does have a pretty good advantage over the Tampa Bay Rays batters. Only a 40 Draft Dashboard ranking, but I am going off of that 20 and 26. He's pitching really, really well. He gets the strikeouts. Gets it when it matters. The Toronto Blue Jays are really, really shitty. They don't really have a very good offense. So, I mean, there is a chance that he might not win this game. He might not get the win. Could be a no decision. Toronto could be like their bullpen could give up a bunch of runs, like once he's out of the game. But I do see, even without getting the win, like he's going to make value at a $7,800 price tag. Tampa Bay Rays, just like I was saying, they're average. They strike out a ton. So I really like Trent Thornton's upside here versus Tampa Bay. So that is my SP2. And I wanted to go with a couple of pitchers that were about mid-tier price or a little bit lower price. There are a lot of bats that I want to talk about today, guys. First one up is Jose Altuve for the Houston Astros, and he is priced at $4,700, and I would pay up for him if he was over $5,000 today, guys. He has a crush matchup versus Wade LeBlanc. This game has a really high implied run total. Wade LeBlanc, he's hitting 4 for 8. He has a 500 batting average with 3 singles, a double, 1.261 OPS. Jose Altuve does hit righty pitchers a little bit better. Wade LeBlanc does give up pretty high OPS to righty batters. So I really like this matchup. He has a 91 Draft Dashboard ranking, and Jose Altuve has absolutely been crushing it right now, guys. That's another reason why I really like him in this matchup. This should be a really high-scoring game. Houston should be putting up a lot of runs. Seattle should be putting up runs. And Altuve should be really involved in that scoring that's going on for Houston. Draft Dashboard says his last 5 games is 35, 19, 14, 19, and a 0. That's not including the game that he played last night, guys. Also, he put up a 30 yesterday. So his last 2 games, he's actually put up a 30 and a 35. So, and with this upside against LeBlanc, his great history, his high OPS, I don't see any reason why he doesn't hit another home run tomorrow against Seattle. That's my prediction. Jose Altuve will hit a home run tomorrow. He's an absolute crush spot, and he's batting really, really well right now. That's insane, guys. His last 5 games is actually a 30, a 35, a 19, a 14, and a 19. So that's double digits in his last 5 games. I really like his upside here. Lock him in your lineups. He's going to crush it, especially at that $4,700 price tag. Just too cheap for him. Next up is Chris Davis. Chris Davis has a 98 Draft Dashboard ranking for tomorrow. His last 5 games, he had a 35, a 5, a 3, a 3, and a 0. But that's, like I said, this is kind of interesting. I have him highlighted as one of my picks. Last night, he actually put up a 30 also. So his last 2 games, he put up a 30 and a 35. So he started off the season a little bit slow, but he's really picking it up right now, really crushing the ball. And both him and Jose Altuve as two guys in here on this that I'm highlighting, guys that have scored a 30 and a 35 in their last two games. Last 5 games. By the way, this game is. Let's see. Chris Davis. First off, he's 4,900. I would pay that up for him for sure. Oakland Athletics are batting really, really well right now, as everybody knows. They put up a shitload of runs on every slate that they play in. And tomorrow they're going to be playing at Globe Life in Texas. Is the number 2 hitter-friendly park. That gives him a ton of upside right there. This is one of the highest run totals on the slate. Chris Davis is batting cleanup tomorrow. Really like his upside against left-hander Drew Smyly. Pretty average to shitty pitcher. It's not showing his OPS that he gives up right now, but Chris Davis, I predict that he's going to get another home run tomorrow too. So this guy is definitely a lock. Love his price tag at 4,900. Get him in your lineups, guys. For my next batter, I went right back to the Oakland Athletics. I really like the Oakland Athletics tomorrow. Anytime that teams are hitting, and good hitting teams are hitting in Texas, it's a good time to pick on them. It's always going to be a high implied run total. There's always going to be a lot of runs scored. Marcus Semien is priced at 4,200 tomorrow. Super damn cheap for him. He's been crushing it lately as well. He's got in his last 5 games, he's got a 12, a 20, an 8, a 5, and a 2. Last 5 versus Texas, he has a 2, a 23, a 0, a 7, and a 17. Going up against Smyly, he's only hit him 1 for 8 with a single so far, but Marcus Semien has been doing very well lately. He has a good OPS versus lefty pitchers, 749. He does have an advantage over Smyly. I really like him here, especially for $4,200. I think he's going to crush that price tag, guys. So lock him in your lineups. He's definitely going to kill it. The last guy for the core four batters is going to be Andrew Benintendi tomorrow. Got to get some exposure to the Boston Red Sox game tomorrow, guys. That's also a very high implied run total. Andrew Benintendi is up against David Hess for the Baltimore Orioles, who's an absolutely horrible pitcher. He is hitting David Hess for a 12 for 31. He's got 7 singles, 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs. David Hess gives up an 872 OPS versus lefties, and while Benintendi has a really bad OPS versus lefty pitchers, when he's facing a righty pitcher like David Hess, he has an 890 OPS. Huge 43% advantage. Draft Dashboard really likes him tomorrow, guys. He has 100 Draft Dashboard ranking. David Hess is a horrible pitcher, like I was saying. Andrew Benintendi in his last 5 games, 4 of them he has double digits with a 12, a 14, an 8, a 10, and an 8. His last 5 versus the Orioles, he has a 15, a 3, a 24, a 4, and a 12. So I really like Andrew Benintendi here in this spot. His price tag is only $4,600, guys. Don't really understand why it's that cheap. One reason is that a lot of people are going to be looking at the New York Yankees tomorrow, who are in an absolute crush spot, but I'm just seeing all this value like in the Oakland game with Texas. If you wanted to go on the other side of Oakland batters, probably the cheapest stack on the line is going to be the Texas Rangers. They have like one guy that's like over 4,200 on their entire lineup. Everybody else over there is less than 42. Just because their bats are kind of inconsistent, especially when they are on the road. But anytime that the Texas Rangers are at home, I do like to pick on that, or like pick their bats as a lot of good value plays if you wanted to head that route. But We are not paying up for pitcher tomorrow, guys, so we are paying down for pitcher pretty much with Jake Arrieta and Trent Thornton. I really like their upside, like I was saying earlier. I do have one more play that I'll talk about before we end the video. My sleeper play for tomorrow is Trey Mancini. Just with everything that's going on, you've got the Boston game, you've got the New York game. This is a huge slate. People seem to overlook Trey Mancini just because, you know, the Baltimore Orioles are going to lose this game. Even though the Boston Red Sox, it could go the other way. I mean, actually, the Orioles they're not really the same Orioles that they used to be. It used to be really bad last year. This year, they've actually been hitting the ball a lot better. Jonathan VR and Trey Mancini, they have a couple of really, really good hitters. Trey Mancini being one of those hitters. He is $4,600 tomorrow, guys. So he is a little bit pricey, but Draft Dashboard has him as a 33, not a very high Draft Dashboard ranking. But look at his last 5 games. He has a 14, a 3, a 28, a 4, and a 19. Last 5 versus Boston. He just got that 14 versus Boston, guys. So he's got 14, a 3, a 3, a 5, and a 2. Trey Mancini consistently hits the ball. He is one of the only good hitters on the Baltimore Orioles other than VR, which probably is why he doesn't have a lot higher scores at sometimes, because he doesn't get a chance at a lot of the RBIs, because a lot of times when he's batting, the bases are empty. But yeah, anyways, I really like his upside tomorrow, guys. He has a plus 28% advantage over Eduardo Rodriguez for the Boston Red Sox, who has had a shitty start to the year. Trey Mancini has a 1.064 OPS versus lefty pitchers. Eduardo Rodriguez has a 723 OPS that he gives up to righty batters. Not a huge sample size. Trey Mancini has a single against Rodriguez in their history. But batting in the number 3 spot, and like I said, being one of the Orioles' only main lines of offense, I really like Trey Mancini tomorrow. So if you want to get a player in your lineup that is going to be underlooked, underowned, go with Trey Mancini. He'll have low ownership, guys. But that is going to do it for tonight's video. I really, really like this slate for tomorrow, guys. I think we're going to make lots of money. We will be back for another MLB video tomorrow evening. So until then, as always, make lots of money, and DFS Riddler out.